So hey everyone, welcome back to the 7th video of this playlist in which I will show you how to build and deploy a full e-commerce website in MERN stack. And in this 7th video we will see and set up the Redux code so that we can do some coding in Redux in future videos. So in this video we will only set up the Redux code and nothing else. So let's start without wasting any more time. So first of all, come to your terminal here and clear your terminal. Okay, so I will just clear all the terminals here, CSL, and then you have to download some dependencies. Okay, so first of all, write exactly what I'm writing here. So write npm I, and you have to download in total of 3 dependencies. So the first one is React, Redux, then Redux, and then Redux Thunk. So these 3 dependencies you have to download. So click enter and let's wait till it downloads. Alright, so after downloading it, I will simply close the terminal here, and you have to now make a new folder. So close this components folder here, and in the src in the src folder you have to make a new folder called state. So this new folder you have to make. So make the new folder state, and inside this, first of all, you have to write index.js file and one more file which is store.js. okay, and not only that, you have to now make 2 more folders inside your state folder. So the first folder name is action creators. So action creators, make this new folder, and inside this action creators you have to make index.js. so write index.js, and the second folder which I was talking about is reducer. So you have to write reducers. That's it. And inside this reducers you have to now make 2 folders. Okay, so the first one is counter reducers. You can like name it anything, but I'm just naming it counter reducers, and one more file which is index.js. so don't be confused with all these index.js, because in total of there are 3 index.js, but this index is for action creators, this index is for reducers, and this index is for the like overall the main folder, which is the state one. So now let's write some code in these folders so that we can set up the code for the Redux. Okay, so come to this store.js. so inside this we will write the first code here for the Redux. So write import, and then we have to import some dependencies. So I will write apply middleware. Okay, so apply middleware and comma create store. Okay, so these 2 dependencies you have to import and write from, and here you have to write a Redux. Okay, so Redux, that's it. And then you have to import some more dependencies. So import thunk, which we have just downloaded. Okay, so import thunk from Redux thunk, just like that, and then we will, okay, so it is not from, it is from. All right, and then you have to write import reducers from /reducers, just like that. So in this way, this reducers is to get the reducers from this file here. Okay, and nothing else. And now you have to just write one more line in your store.js, which is export. So now you have to export all this dependencies. So write export const store, and this will be equal to create store. So I will write here create store here, and in this bracket it will take few arguments. So the first argument is reducers, then an empty object, and then apply middleware, which we have just written here, and in the bracket of this apply middleware write thunk. That's it, you are done with the store.js code here. Now let's move on to the index.js of this state folder. So inside this index.js you have to just write one line which is export all. This star means all, and action creators. Okay, so action creators from slash action creators. So okay, so it is action creators. Okay, and you have to write as here. Okay, so import all as action creators from action creators. So just like that, and inside this index.js. Okay, just like that, you are done with the index.js of state also. Now come to your reducers file and click on your index file here. So inside this, what you have to write, import, and here you have to write combined reducers. Okay, so combined reducer, as you can see, it is recommending me also. So combined reducer from Redux, and import. Okay, import counter reducers. Okay, so write this, import counter reducer from counter reducers.js. that's it. And then you have to make a function here which is reducers. So const reducers is equal to combined reducers, and this will be a function which says counter. Okay, which is counter is equal to counter reducer, just like that. And lastly, you have to import this reducers function. Okay, this one, so that all the other files can access to it. So just write export default reducers. So yeah, you are done with the index.js of reducers file also. So let's close all this which we are done with. So this counter reducers store. All right, so now you can see you are done with the index of reducers also. So now let's move on this index of action creator. So these two files are important. Okay, so whatever we have done till now, it is not important, but this index.js in action creators and this counter reducer.js in reducers files, these two files are the important one. And in this index.js in your action creators, you have to define the name of your function and what it will do, so that you can, you have to dispatch your function here in this index file. So you have to write export, then const. Okay, so you have to make a new function here called, and let's write search query. Okay, you can name it anything, but why I'm writing here search query, because in the just next video we will see how to search anything in our website. So that's why I am using Redux in that case, and that's why I am naming it search query. So you will understand it better in the next video when I will show you how to search. But for now, just copy paste what I am writing here, and in the bracket you have to write counter. You can write anything, but I am here writing counter, so that you in future you also have to write counter here, so make sure. And then it will return something. So what it will return, you can write here dispatch. Okay, dispatch, and then it will be an arrow function. So write dispatch here, and then in the curly braces you have to write, not type, you have to write the type here. Okay, so the type will be search query. Okay, so just copy paste this function name here, and then you have to give the payload. So here you have to define these two things in every function which you will export in this index.js. So the first one is the type, which is the name of your function, and the payload type. So the payload, you have to give the same name as this one, so write counter here. Alright, so that's it, you are done with your action creators. Now let's move on to the last file, which is counter reducers. So here it is the most important one, in which you have to define the variable or any object that you want to pass from any file to other file. So what is like in general, what is the use of the Redux? So Redux will help you to pass any variable or any like value from one folder to other folder without any hesitation. Okay, so that's exactly what we are doing here. So first of all, we will make some constants. So here I will write initial state, and this will be an object, and inside this object we will write all the variables, all objects in future that we want to pass from one page to other page. So inside this you have to write the search query. Okay, so right here search query, and this will be a string, so make sure to write an empty string. Okay, so what it will do here, okay, we are not done, so let's write more code, then I will explain you. So then make a function here, const reducers. Okay, just reducer, and then I will write here state is equal to initial state and action. So it will take two parameters, a state and action. So inside this you have to write switch case. So in the switch case I will write action dot type. Okay, so what is the type of this action? You can see in the here, you can see the type is search query. So we will get this type in this counter reducers. So case 1, which is search query itself, so I will write here search query. So if the action type is search query, then what we will do, we have to return something. So we will return a 3 dots state, then write search query here, and then action dot payload. Okay, so what it will do, it will just see the switch cases query, search query. So it will just append all the search query in this empty string. So it will just change the search query what we have just written in the search box. So it will just change that and paste it in this empty string, and then we can grab it from any place, from anywhere we want. So after that, and if you remember, in switch case you have to also define a default case. So we have to write default here, and whenever if nothing is there, so we will just simply return state and nothing else. And yep, remember to break also. So yeah, break, and break here also. All right, and lastly you have to export. So export default and then reducers. Okay, so yeah, so just like that you're done. So this is all the setup code for your Redux. So I hope you understand how to set up the Redux code here, and in the just next part we will see how to use it as well. So till then, take care, and I will see you in the next one.